Okay guys, so you want to write a musical, but maybe you're a little bit stuck or having trouble just even getting started in the first place. Today we're going to be talking about why you shouldn't start writing anything from scratch, how it can be a little bit overwhelming, and how you can use this technique to speed up your writing and improve the quality of your writing as well. So stay tuned. Hello everybody, my name is Sarah Wynen. This channel is music, musicals and me. I do a lot of different types of videos here, but in particular I do a lot of videos about writing musicals. So if that's something that you're interested in learning a little bit more about, make sure that you subscribe and also go back and check out some of my previous videos. There might be some stuff you might be interested in, and if you want to see anything in the future, feel free to comment below and I will absolutely be happy to have a little bit of a chat about it. So today we're going to be talking about limitations and how limitations can actually be really beneficial. So when you sit down to write something, and it might be a whole musical, or it might be a song, or it might be anything, and when you're starting from scratch, there can be so many different pathways that you're able to go down, so many different ideas. It can sometimes be really overwhelming. And I think this is the instance when people can get a little bit stuck. People often think, oh, writer's block, I've gone blank, I've got nothing to write about. Whereas sometimes it can actually be the opposite problem. I've got too many things that I could write about. I don't know how to find a sense of focus. So that's where limitations can come in handy. Now, limitations can apply to both writing of music and writing of script and words. And I'm going to go into that in just a second. But before we do, there are two types of limitations that I want to talk about today. And the first is random limitations. So this is when you choose something to randomly limit yourself. So if we go into the music side of things, if you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to write a song, but I don't know what it should sound like, I don't know what I should write it like, put a random limitation on yourself and just pick it out of the blue. Now, when you're choosing limitations, you want to think about different musical elements. So for example, you might say, okay, I'm going to put a random limitation on myself. I'm going to do it to do with the key of the piece. Okay, I'm going to write a song in D major. Boom. Okay, I've put that limitation on myself. I can only write the song in D major now, which means that I can't write it in C major. I can't write it in minor. I can't write it in F major. I can't write it in this key. All those other things that you were worried about, should it be this, should it be this, it's D major. So you've instantly got that focus. You've limited the amount of notes and chords you can use. You've honed in a little bit, and it's going to give you direction. It's going to give you purpose. Now, another example in regards to music is you might limit yourself by choosing a style. And this could be just a random limitation that you choose. You could be like, I'm going to write a ballad, or I'm going to write an up-tempo, really funny song, and it's going to be in this style, or I really love that song from so-and-so. I'm going to try and write a song in the style of that, or I'm going to pastiche this. Like, choose something to limit yourself, and you will find that it absolutely gives you focus and just takes away a lot of the unnecessary things in your head that you don't want to have to put energy into thinking about. So when you're writing script, this can be done exactly the same way, okay? So choose a random limitation, put it on yourself to give you focus. So a really clear example of that is prompts, writing prompts. So you can find these on the internet or ask your friend to give you a prompt. But once you get a prompt, all of a sudden you can't write about just anything. You've limited yourself, all this other stuff is gone. It gives you focus, okay? So for writing as well, you might decide, oh, I'm not sure what I want to write this character like. Put something on it. Okay, it's going to be a really evil villain, or it's going to be a woman, or it's going to be a child. Put some sort of limitation so you can't just go with anything. You don't get overwhelmed by the possibilities, and you have that narrowed focus. So the other type of limitation that I talked about at the start was an informed limitation. So we have random limitations where you just choose something at random. It's going to be in D major. It's going to be a villain. That's just a random thing that you've chosen to put a limitation on yourself. But an informed limitation is choosing to limit yourself in a way that is informed. So it could be informed based on your strengths. If you are really good at writing songs in this style, you're probably going to want to choose limitations that support your strengths. Or if you already know something about the story that you're writing, if you're already partway through your musical and you know it's going to feel like this, it's going to be a bit like this, when you're struggling to come up with ideas or songs or music, put limitations on yourself that serve what you already know. Okay, so use what you already know and use that information to create appropriate limitations, informed limitations. Okay, so they're the two types: random limitations and informed limitations that I'm talking about today. Now, hopefully that makes sense. I know it's all a little bit wordy and hard to describe sometimes, but basically, in essence, what you want to do is not write anything from scratch if you find that that's really hard and overwhelming. I certainly do sometimes. So what you want to do is limit the amount of options that you have of what to write about or how to write it. Limit your options. This will give you focus, it will give you drive, it will enable you to hone in and do something really efficiently and really, really well. So that's all for this video. Again, I hope that made sense. Let me know in the comments what you're writing about, and I hope to see you in the next video.